It's a Monday bangers kind of day with our buddy from Florida, Tony. Let's go. Last minute betting with the Sports Nuts. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Mike, you don't know this. We have a surprise for you tonight. Tony and I are dropping some golf picks tonight. Yeah, we're excited about it. We just worked them up earlier today. So you're going to get, folks, what tournament is this again?
We got the Rocket Mortgage, baby.
Rocket
Detroit,
Mortgage.
Michigan.
That's right. That's who has my mortgage.
We don't even know what we're betting, but we're making money on it.
That's right. For sure. You know what? We really have not done well at the giveaways lately. So what we've decided to do is we're going to back off them a little bit. All right? We're going to take a little break, take a step back, try to regroup because we haven't been winning lately. Now, Tony, we know what you are on. There's Alan. We know what you are on tonight. We know what you're on tonight. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But before we do, let's talk about these picks in the Rocket Mortgage. The Golf Gurus, odds from DraftKings, brought to you by OddsJam. And here they are. Tony Finau outright. Matsuyama outright. Cam Davis outright. Austin Eckroat, I can't believe we were both thinking about him as an outright. And Alex Smalley as an outright. Tom Kim and Sungjae Im as top fives. And top 10, Tony Finau and Ricky Fowler. And top 20s, Keegan Bradley, Cam Davis, Eckroat, Sepp Straka, Steven Yeager, the Jägermeister, and Taylor Pendrith. How many golfers have we been on this year, Tony, that have been like in the money? We really had a lot of good players, but we're just not getting them in the right spot, are we?
You know what? That's kind of the story about golf betting is every week you look on Monday and Tuesday, and you definitely need to get those picks in by Wednesday. But you ride somewhat the same guys if you like the value and you like the odds. But then every week or so, you see a player here and there where they've got good course history or they play well in the kind of course that's going to be coming up. And a lot of golf handicappers like us, like the Golf Gurus, this season I've noticed because I follow lots of them and I listen to podcasts. They're right there with us. I mean, you hit a few outrights every season. I mean, if you hit 3 to 5, you're great. But I mean, what 2 to 3 is usually pretty good. We've only hit one so far, but yeah, we're right there. Maybe we start throwing some of these guys as top fives instead of outrights to try to get some money. But we're hitting on these 10s and these 20s in these last few weeks. And of course, when you're betting the outrights and the 5s, you put a little less units on those, and you put a little more on the 10s and the 20s. Because you have a little bit better chances on those. So I've been coming across okay these last few weeks, but we definitely need to hit it. We definitely need to hit another outright because that's what golf is all about.
Mike, are you on? I got to ask you first before we go to Tony. Are you on LSU against Florida tonight after getting killed yesterday, 24-4?
Yeah, I mean, naturally you think people would say, no way I'm going to LSU tonight, but I think there's a reason they're favored. They're obviously the better team, truthfully, and the fact that they did get smoked to me in baseball, I think you can expect them to bounce back tonight, and maybe they whip Florida tonight. I don't know about by that much, but maybe it's a game where even the run line covers tonight. I don't know that I like the run line, but maybe you expect they do cover that run line after they got blown out last night and they're able to bounce back. So, I will ride with Tony on LSU. My question is, how heavy are we riding LSU tonight? Do we like them a lot, or do we just like them a little?
Before you answer that, Tony, let me throw a few things here. You know, LSU's got the Golden Spikes winner, Dylan Cruz. He's riding a 74 game on base streak. Tommy White ranks second in the nation with 102 RBIs. LSU leads all of college baseball in runs scored, and they have defeated Florida in 5 of the last 7 matchups entering the 2023 College World Series. So after putting that on you, Tony, do we see Skeens tonight, or however you say his name, or is he coming back? Is he going to play a role in this game?
It makes me smile that we're talking about college baseball, the biggest event of the night in sports. And you'll definitely learn how to pronounce Skeens' name after tonight, because he's either going to start and go about 6, or if they need him to come in around the 3rd or the 4th, if they're struggling, I think he can go the rest of the game and go about 5 or 6. But Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz are the number 1 and 2 prospects in college baseball. They're both on LSU. Florida's got number 3 in Wyatt Langford, who went 5 for 5 last night. He's no joke either. But Skeens, if he goes tonight, and if he goes until his arm falls off or the Tigers win the trophy, I think those are the 2 ultimatums there. I'm not going to play the run line. Last night's game was an anomaly. Most of these games in the College World Series have been 1 run. So I think if you do take LSU money line, 1 or 2 units, whatever you feel comfortable betting, I think you have a very safe chance on cashing that bet. LSU and Wake Forest have been the 2 best teams all year, and LSU took down Wake Forest on the way here. I've got multiple futures on LSU tonight, and I took them last night when the line opened as well. So I do think LSU does win the Natty tonight, and if they don't, I've got a lot of people to apologize to.
Okay, well, I was gonna put $1,000 on them, should I?
Depending on what your unit size is, sure. I don't see them losing. So if you're comfortable putting $1,000 on them, if that's your 1 or 2 units, go for it. I never really recommend more than a 2-unit play, but when you double love a play, I always recommend putting 2 units on it, and I put 2 units of my own money on LSU money line tonight.
LSU's winning tonight, guys.
What's up, Andre? Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I'm gonna ride them with you guys, and hopefully we can cash out tonight and get this thing done.
Yeah, that game yesterday was.
There's not a lot on the MLB slate that is real intriguing tonight. If we're being honest, there's just not a lot. I mean, Baltimore, Cincinnati, maybe, but I mean that.
I was going to say that's a great game.
It's going to be, but I'm not. The pitching matchup, I guess, if you like offense, this may be one for you because I think we'll see some runs in this game, certainly. But that one should be the most intriguing game of the night, but we'll see what happens. I'm definitely tuning in to LSU, Florida, first and foremost tonight.
Let's talk real quick about the Reds. The Reds have given up the 4th most runs in all of baseball, yet are 4 games over 500 and in first place in the Central Division. They cannot keep up this kind of pace and expect to be in the playoffs, guys. You can't give up as many. They've given up 400 runs. There's 4 teams in all of baseball who've given up 400 or more, and the Reds are one of them. On top of that, they have a minus 15 run differential, which is unheard of to be in first place. That's how bad the Central Division is.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think that that's a recipe for long-term winning, at least especially after the All-Star break. But when you look at how bad the division is, maybe it can be for that division because nobody is taking advantage of anything in a weak division. So maybe you can do that and win your division. Does that mean they're going to compete in the playoffs? Probably not. That tells me that come playoff time, they're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. I think they're a solid young team, but this year I don't see Cincinnati going on any kind of playoff run. At least that's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I think that they can continue this because they're in a weak division. That's the only reason that they'll be able to continue.
They've won a lot of one-run games, and the other thing they're not doing is they're not taking their second baseman and putting him in center field. Okay, I mean they're not doing stupid things like that. Which Tony, you watch a lot of baseball, but I think Tommy Edman is a good ball player, and he's a Gold Glove winner at second base. And what they've been doing to him, having him play all over the place, so DeYoung and Gorman can be in the lineup, I think is just a travesty, because you're talking about a guy who's a possible 30 stolen base a year guy.
Yeah, a couple thoughts on the NL Central here. First on that, the Cardinals are just a mess. They're lucky that they got that second game there in London, so they could at least travel home a little bit happy. But they didn't even look that great this weekend in London. I mean, and yeah, the whole Edman deal is a mess. Finally glad Jordan Walker's back up there, but unfortunately, Liberatore isn't looking great, one of their best pitching prospects. And like Mike said, what the Reds are doing isn't a recipe for success, but I don't see how they can't keep winning in the NL Central. I mean, the Brewers don't look too great this year. The Pirates, I mean, you guys, in a month, Paul Skeens could be pitching on the Pirates. I mean, if they decide to take him first, I see him skipping the minors. He could come up right away and be in the Pirates rotation in a month. So with the Pirates and the Cubs and everybody playing kind of mediocre, the Reds with Ellie De La Cruz playing like he is kind of seem like the best team right now.
Well, here's the deal. All right, I've got to thwart you on this. All right, remember, this is a balanced schedule now. You're not playing 19 games against each team in the Central Division. So the idea that the Central Division is weak and you're going to wind up, it's not the same amount of games. Okay, so
you still got to win the ones you play.
Yeah, I know, but it's not as many, so it's not going to have as big of an effect on the division. The Reds are winning one-run games, guys. That's what they're doing. Okay, their record in one-run games is why. But you can't.
Hey, and that's a good team right there if you win one-run games.
But
and they can also put up some offense. Nobody the wild card here in the Central Division will be if one team could take this division and take a hold of it, Milwaukee would look like the team that's in best position to do that. But they've been a disappointment in my opinion as well this year a little bit, but they're certainly in the mix, and it's all going to depend on their pitching, because their pitching has not been what I thought it was going to be. If Milwaukee's starting pitching can get back to what it was last year, yeah, Milwaukee could take control of this division. If not, Cincinnati's got the door wide open to just go right on.
I love you both, okay? Let me preface this, okay, with I love you both. But you cannot give up the fourth most runs in all of baseball, okay?
But they're doing it now.
For a whole season and expect to win. It's not going to happen.
If the other teams in your division are losing a lot, then, again.
But you're not going to win games if you keep doing that, okay?
Cincinnati won't win the division with the pitching they have right now.
No, they're going to have to do something.
They'll have to make a move.
Yes, absolutely.
I like Milwaukee to ultimately win that division when it's all said and done. I think they're the better team and more experienced team that's in this division right now because, the Cardinals have it more but they're at the bottom. So I don't see the Cardinals coming back alive from the dead and doing anything. It's Milwaukee's division to win, I think.
Let's go to Andre, who
yeah. I didn't get that.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe Rudy Gay was still going around like that. But both contracts are huge. It looks like the new GM of the Hawks, Landry Fields, who was a player just a few years ago, is looking to move around some stuff there and kind of either rebuild or reload around Trae Young.
Oh, look! Listen to Tristan. He's got some comments. De La Cruz can't do everything, and he sees the Reds close to dead last. Woo! That's some strong words there, Tristan.
Man, I mean, I don't know. I don't,
Ellie De La Cruz can almost do everything.
yeah, I mean,
can't pitch.
That's it. That's what I mean. Yeah, the Reds need to make a move, especially with Hunter Green on the IL and Lodolo's on the IL. I mean, their two best young pitchers are hurt right now, but somehow they're still staying afloat, which, I mean, hey, a couple signs of a good team.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's early. I'm with Mike. I think the Brewers ultimately win that division.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are too much of a mess. I want to share my screen real quick because I put in a quick price picks play, and I want to share it with everybody real quick. This was off the Fantasy Optimizer. Colin Ray, under 3 earned runs allowed. Brandon Williamson, under 4 strikeouts. Luis Castillo, over 6 strikeouts. Matthew Boyd, under 3 earned runs allowed. And Justin Verlander, under 6.5 strikeouts. So that's what I got on prize picks today. Mike, you got anything you want to take a look at positive EV here real quick?
Yeah, I'll take a look and see if there is anything out there. Who do you guys see coming out of the NL and AL, Tristan? I mean, ultimately for me, out of the NL, I still really like Atlanta. I think they're the best team in the National League, the most complete team. Now they're back to being hungry again after last year getting bounced. Now they've got that hunger to get back. You know, they've got them a more recent World Series. So I really like Atlanta coming out of the National League ultimately. And the American League, I mean, it's there, you know, there's some teams that we still, you know, you got Baltimore and Texas sitting there who we've got to give their credit to, but they don't really have the experience yet. You know, Tampa Bay is certainly a team that you got to look at because they have some experience. I trust them a lot more than I trust the Yankees. And then Houston, I'm not sure Houston can get back. I think it's just going to be a little too much for them. I wouldn't count them out, but I just don't think they'll have enough to get back this year. So for me in the American League, I've got to really lean towards Tampa Bay, slightly ahead of Texas and Baltimore, because I think they've got the better team, truthfully.
Yeah, I think you honestly need to go chalk there, and I would take them now if you're looking at futures in the MLB. I would take the Rays and the Braves as an exacta matchup in the World Series.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can go wrong there, and that's actually going to be happening in the Trop in St. Pete, Florida in about a week after 4th of July weekend. The Rays and the Braves are playing their first series in a while against each other. So that'll be a good World Series kind of preview to see where each team's playing at against the other team there.
Dre says, don't forget his Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and again, they're there with Baltimore and Texas. They're a very good team.
Yeah, they're
but you just can you really see them in a best of 7 series? You know, knocking off an Atlanta team who is so deep and has the experience. You know, that's going to be tough. I mean, you could say don't sleep on the Phillies too, because if there's, you know, they've had some injury issues, but if they can get healthy, maybe they've got a chance to be a dark horse. I doubt it, but I mean, to me, I just don't think anybody can beat Atlanta in a series. I think they're too much pitching, hit, offense. I mean, they've got arguably the NL MVP, Acuna. I think we can agree he's got to be front runner at least right now. So, man, I really like Atlanta a lot.
Let me share my screen real quick since you brought up futures, Tony. So, folks, you can go to sports and MLB, and you can click on futures. And I love this about baseball. The other leagues we have a little bit of problem with, not necessarily the NFL, but NHL and NBA. We can pick. We can look at odds for the division winner in each division, Cy Young winner, MVP, World Series winner, National League winner, American League winner. Let's just take a look real quick at the American League winner right now. Let me put myself in.
That's awesome how OddsJam has all of those. That's great.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, the Rays are plus 235 on DraftKings.
Yeah, and see,
right
Houston's getting some
Well,
love from
American
the
League.
books.
Right.
Because of their experience and the fact that I think the books are even saying the same thing we are, Tony. Texas, I know they got them third, but
Yeah.
Baltimore, you see, Baltimore's not even, I mean, they're not giving Baltimore any love.
No, not at all.
That's wild.
They're giving the Twins more love than the Orioles. Are you kidding?
That's wild.
That's wild. I mean, if you're looking for a long shot, I'm taking Baltimore. I mean, to sprinkle. I mean, because Minnesota, Toronto. No, I think Baltimore's
exactly.
better.
And Baltimore just called up another one of their top prospects today. He's going to be starting tonight, Jordan Westberg. He's an infielder. So look out for him. I mean, Baltimore and Cincinnati, they see a little window here, and they just keep calling up their top prospects, trying to get some wins. So watch out for those two teams, those little wild card chasers.
Talk about not getting love. Look at the D-backs. Behind the Dodgers and the Giants.
Sure. I think the Dodgers are still the best team in that division.
I mean, look, it's easy to sit here in the regular season. Arizona is an outstanding team. They're going to be good for years to come. No ifs, ands, or buts. But this year, if we're talking about right now, this year, I am not sold on the Diamondbacks or the Rangers making it to the World Series. They're just not quite there yet. They will be possibly soon, but not quite yet. I still like the Dodgers a little more. Even the Giants, I would be willing to agree with the books on that. I would give the Giants some love because they've been pretty dynamite lately. So, yeah.
I was going to put 100 on the Cardinals, but probably not.
No.
Well, Urias is the Dodgers ace, and he's been out. So once he comes back, I mean, the pitching set, Kershaw's been on a whole nother level this year.
Yes, he has.
So once they put it together in the second half of the season, like Mike said, I see the D-backs being really good for a really long time with Carroll as their piece there and Gallen on the bump. But I still think the Dodgers, if you're looking for an NLS winner future, take the Dodgers.
And remember, Gonsolin's going to continue to probably get better as the year goes on. He was hurt. They missed him tremendously last year in the playoffs. Now he's back. He's 4-2. I know his ERA is kind of up there a little bit, but not terrible. And he's going to continue to get better, too. You talked about Urias coming back. I mean, the Dodgers are a team that are going to be formidable come playoff time. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a Dodgers-Braves rematch in the NLCS like we did a couple of years ago.
And we cannot get Acuna plus money right now.
No.
In June.
Too late.
We got Goldschmidt and Judge last year at plus money in August. But right now, that shows
now nobody in the National League is doing much. I mean, Acuna is just tearing it up completely, and nobody else is stepping up and doing a whole lot. It's just an easy.
That you've got Tatis and Soto as, what are they? 1, 2, 3.
No chance.
No, they're not going to.
They're actually in the top 10. I mean,
does OddsJam have Rookie of the Year or no? That's going to be a great bet in the NL this year with Corbin Carroll and Ellie De La Cruz.
Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look real quick.
I mean, there's a lot of great pitchers, too, in the American League. You got Hunter Brown.
This is a better bet right now probably than the MVP in the National League because Acuna, no value.
No, the Rookie of the Year is juicy right now.
Yeah.
Especially in the NL.
Oh, Carroll is by far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for a few months, but, I mean, if Ellie keeps doing what he's doing, that's a little flyer I might take now.
Plus 600.
Yeah.
Plus 600.
I mean, you could certainly see the second half. I mean, we've got a whole second half of the season to go yet. We're not even to the All-Star break quite. So these races are still up in the air. But the American League, it looks like,
Young, number 1.
I kind of like Hunter Brown down there too. Like I said, I mean, you can get some good odds for some good players if they keep staying up there and performing.
Right. Right. Well, and the books seem to be high on Houston coming out of the American League, and Hunter Brown's going to play a big part of that.
He's been their best pitcher this year, almost.
Exactly. So if Houston gets hot down the stretch and or second half of the season here, Hunter Brown's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, I would take De La Cruz and Brown.
Can you believe it? There's a Cardinal trade away right there, Gallen.
Yeah.
The leader for Cy Young.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. But look at Kershaw. You know, I mean, he's had a hell of a year.
He has.
Unbelievable.
And let's look at American League here real quick. McClanahan is second in this. Do you agree with this? Valdez being first?
I don't. Not, like I just said, I think Hunter Brown's honestly having a better year than Valdez.
Right.
Just as a rookie, I mean, the way he's performed, Valdez, honestly, I don't think has even performed up to his potential. But McClanahan, the best pitcher on the best team, the most wins. If you can get some plus odds at McClanahan right now, a little sprinkle doesn't hurt.
Oh, yeah. And Hunter Brown's at plus 15,000, bro.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't know about a side, but I mean, if he can get 10 wins in the second half, who knows?
Yeah, I know.
Valdez, you know, ERA's down right now. That's helping him, you know, get some love, you know. But, I'm not sure that I like him winning the Cy Young. I would roll with McClanahan there. It looks like plus 400 on BetMGM's the value you can find. I would take that for sure. And maybe you don't sleep on Garrett Cole either. I mean, he's having a pretty good – I think either one of those two could jump Valdez you know, over time. So,
Right.
It's turned into a great baseball future show. I wasn't expecting this. This is awesome.
No, this is I like this because now
there's a lot of value you can get right here if you're watching this live.
Yeah, a lot, because I think Valdez, although he's the front runner according to the books right now, I don't think there's any doubt McClanahan and Cole will likely jump him at some point. So either one of those two, I think, is worth throwing a little lunch money on, you know, and seeing what happens.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! Now that home run leader, don't understand that. Let's just look at this real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. To make the playoffs, Atlanta Braves. Oh, of course they're going to make the playoffs. Tampa Bay. No on the Tigers, Pirates, and White Sox.
Who's the first plus money team in that?
I'm getting there. I got to go way down here. The Marlins, no, to make the playoffs.
Marlins? You mean the Marlins?
Marlins, I said.
It sounded like you said Marlins. So I was like, who are they?
No, that was probably your ears, Mike. The first team that is a yes to make the playoffs at plus money is San Diego at plus 180.
Mm-hmm.
The Angels are next at plus 190. Now
I don't see that.
That's to make the playoffs.
I don't see I still don't see the Angels with the pitching this year. I mean,
why? Who's going to be ahead of them? I mean, you've got Baltimore.
They're playing in a bad division. Well, no.
No. But the Central Division, there's going to be one team. You got three wild cards. Are all
they might all be in the AL East this year.
Well, that could be. You might be right. Guardians plus 205, Cubs plus 290, Reds at plus 300 while they're winning the division. Mets at plus 310, Mariners at plus 425, Red Sox, your Red Sox, Tony, at plus 450, Cardinals plus 700, White Sox plus 900, Tigers plus 1,800, and we'll go on.
I think that Guardians plus 205 bet's the best one that you just said. I mean, if they have a good second half, I still think they're a better team than Minnesota. So, I mean,
Guardians would have to be.
I like that as a future right there to make the playoffs at plus 205.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of these other ones, like, you know, the Angels. No, I mean, you're probably getting three teams out of the AL East in the playoffs. I mean,
could be.
No, I don't think it could be. I mean, look, very, very possibly.
I mean, I'm
Alan,
not,
you're right. Guardians will wake up. Don't sleep on them. Exactly. They'll wake up a little bit and get going. They're a respectable team. So, yeah, I think
a couple good pitching prospects they just brought up too. So,
yep.
All right, guys, you know the Angels and the Houston, they're 42 and 36. Houston Angels are 42 and 37. After Baltimore, you got the Yankees 43 and 35 and Toronto 43 and 36. It's going to be between those four teams, and one's coming out of the West, guys. Sorry. I don't like
I think
Toronto.
all of those teams are better than the Angels.
I agree 100%.
Including the Angels?
Every single team you just mentioned is better than the Angels.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned the Angels too, so okay. All right. I got you. I got you. I'm hip to you. Andre would love to see Carroll become the first player since Suzuki to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Acuna, yeah, he's going to have to have a terrible second half. But look at what you can find at OddsJam, folks. That's why we're here, to show you that kind of stuff. And you know what? That does it for the show. We got the golf picks up. Watch this video, the replay of it. If you want to see them again, go
LSU money line pick of the night.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we're all going with. I'm riding with it. We're going LSU money 9. There's your giveaway. If you want a giveaway, bet LSU money, and the books will give you money.
I'm gonna back up my Nissan Murano.
I mean,
back up
couple
the
units, couple of units, and let's do this.
$1,000. See you later. I'm doing it. Be there in a few minutes.
Me too.
I bet you are.
I'm in.